Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the Funimation dub of episode 77 of Dragonball Super. After a new opening theme song, we begin this episode at the castle of Grand Zeno the Omni King. Inside the castle, we see Zeno, both the Zeno of the main timeline and his counterpart from Future Trunks' timeline, playing a game. Both the Zenos are sitting at a table, and in the middle of the table there seems to be a universe, and essentially the Zenos are flicking planets into other planets. That's their idea of a game. The Zenos, however, both comment that they're very bored right now and they want to find something else to play, but neither of them can think of any ideas right now. On the Earth of Universe 7, we see that Goku has arrived at a market in a hover truck that was made by Capsule Corporation. Goku has arrived at this market in order to sell some vegetables, and a vendor at the market is more than happy to buy Goku's vegetables. Apparently, this vendor has bought Goku's vegetables in the past, and he comments about how Goku's vegetables are very popular, it turns out. After Goku receives payment for selling his vegetables, Goku drives back home in his hover truck, and Goku is hoping that he'll have a chance to find some time to train again now that he's made some money for his family. But as Goku is driving back home, he sees a man requesting help because this man's truck ended up in a ditch. So Goku helps the man get his truck out of the ditch. But it turns out that this man is actually a member of a group of robbers. The truck in the ditch was actually a trick that they put together, hoping to steal the vehicle of anyone who comes to help the supposed incident of the person with a truck in the ditch. So yeah, it was a trick to steal someone's vehicle, and they intend to steal Goku's hover truck. They notice that it's the latest model from Capsule Corporation, so they're hoping that they'll be able to make some quick money by selling the hover truck. Goku, however, points out that he just received the hover truck from Bulma not too long ago. The robbers threaten Goku if he doesn't surrender his hover truck to them, but Goku is able to easily take care of the robbers. In fact, at one point, Goku catches a bullet and he flicks the bullet back at one of the robbers. It's a scene that's very similar to a scene that happened regarding Goku's older brother, Raditz, back at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z in the Saiyan Saga, when Raditz caught a bullet that a farmer shot towards him, and Raditz flicked the bullet back at the farmer. The big difference, of course, being that Goku didn't intend to severely harm the robber. He merely intended to knock him out, and that is the case. Goku merely knocked the robber out. But after all of the robbers are knocked out, or most of them I should say, one of the robbers attempts to attack Goku one last time before fully becoming unconscious. And Goku gets a slight scratch on his arm from the bullet. Yeah, the bullet manages to graze him and it leaves a scratch on Goku's arm. And Goku comments that he must be getting rusty from not being... he thinks he's getting rusty from not being able to train lately. So Goku sees that as encouragement for him to resume his training. So Goku calls Krillin, hoping that Krillin will spar with him after the events of the Forest of Terror two-parter, the two-parter just before this episode. But Krillin comments that he's in the middle of police work right now. So Goku ends up contacting Whis, hoping he could train with Whis. And Whis agrees as long as Goku brings a thank you gift, as Whis puts it, which is namely some food from Earth. Eventually, Goku decides to bring sticky rice cakes with sweet bean filling. That's what Goku suggests he brings to Whis, and Whis and Beerus, for that matter, both like the sound of this, so they're more than happy to agree to Goku's suggestion. They decide that Whis will meet Goku at Capsule Corporation in about an hour. So Goku eventually returns home, and he quickly switches into his gi, and he and Goten head off to find the sticky rice cakes with sweet bean filling for Beerus and Whis, and they manage to sneak off while Chi-Chi is monologuing about the importance of studying. So after Goku and Goten acquire the sticky rice cakes with sweet bean filling, they arrive at Capsule Corporation, and they see that Bulma is pregnant right now, although Goku doesn't think Bulma is pregnant at first. Bulma has to spell it out for Goku. We'll leave it at that. And Trunks comments that he's hoping he could spar with Goten because Trunks thinks that the Pilaf gang wouldn't be ideal sparring partners, to say the least. So Goten agrees to spar with Trunks. And after Goku talks with Bulma for a while, he goes to see Vegeta. And we see Vegeta is pacing back and forth near the gazebo. And Goku makes his offer, Goku extends an invitation to Vegeta to join him on Beerus' planet for training. And Vegeta says along the lines, I'm just paraphrasing, but Vegeta says something along the lines of, "It's tempting, Kakarot, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline. I'm sure you've seen Bulma's pregnant, and I can't leave the planet when she's about to give birth, or else I'll never hear the end of it." And Goku finds it pretty confusing that Vegeta intends to stay on Earth until Bulma gives birth. When Whis arrives, Whis also shares Goku's confusion about Vegeta intending to stay on Earth until Bulma has given birth to their youngest offspring. But Whis decides that parental traditions are parental traditions that he just doesn't understand, but he'll respect them. That's what Whis essentially says. So after Goku clarifies that he's brought the sticky rice cakes with sweet bean filling, Whis and Goku head off to Beerus' planet. And after they arrive, Beerus and Whis quickly do want to try the sticky rice cakes with sweet bean filling, and they enjoy it a lot. They really do. But during the meal, Beerus notes the scratch on Goku's arm from the bullet earlier, and Goku admits that the bullet the scratch from the bullet grazing him is actually what motivated Goku into wanting to come to Beerus' planet to train. So later on, we see Goku and Whis training, and Beerus is commenting about how he thinks it's Beerus says along the lines how he thinks it's ridiculous that Goku hasn't had a serious fight in such a long time, or at least in Beerus' mind, a long time. And Goku, this actually reminds Goku of something. Goku is reminded of a suggestion that Zeno made at the end of the main storyline of the Champa Saga. After the Tournament of Destroyers was finished, Zeno said he actually enjoyed what he saw of the Tournament of Destroyers. So Zeno wants to hold a tournament with multiple universes, and Goku is reminded of this, and Goku questions both Beerus and Whis if they heard anything more from Zeno regarding this tournament, but Beerus responds that Goku should just forget about the tournament and not bother trying to go see Zeno about it, or he keeps insisting that Goku should stay away from the Omni King. And Beerus explains that this is because Grand Zeno can actually be quite dangerous. That's what Beerus describes. Beerus says Zeno is a pure-hearted individual, but Zeno's purity is exactly what makes him so dangerous. And Whis also reminds Goku that Grand Zeno is also able to erase an entire universe, even the entire multiverse, in a matter of seconds without any effort at all. Goku responds that he does remember this. He remembers when future Zeno had erased the multiverse of future Trunks' timeline in order to stop infinite Zamasu. But Goku also responds that it was an understandable situation. Future Zeno had to do that in order to stop the rogue Supreme Kai from carrying out Project Zero Mortals further than he already did. So Goku thinks that there's still nothing to worry about, and he even points out he still has the Zeno button that he received from the Omni King. And there's two sides of this button. The blue button will bring Zeno to Goku, while the red button will bring Goku to Zeno. Beerus is very furious that Goku still intends to blow off his warnings, and Beerus actually threatens to perform the Hakai technique against Goku. He gives an analogy along the lines of, he thinks of Goku as a pet and himself, Beerus, as a master who hasn't properly trained his pet and thus has to put the pet down, as he puts it, along those lines. And Goku, however, manages to trick Beerus. Like, he makes him look away for a moment, and then Goku pushes the red button, so this brings Goku to Zeno. So Goku is teleported just outside of the entrance to Zeno's castle, and the Grand Minister immediately opens the door. The Grand Minister greets Goku and inquires him about his arrival. But we then cut to the Zenos in their throne room, and the Grand Minister has brought Goku to the throne room, and the Zenos are happy to see Goku again. Goku admits he doesn't know which Zeno is the one of the main timeline, but he reminds the Zenos about the tournament that he suggested at the end of the Tournament of Destroyers, and the present Zeno comments that he forgot all about it until Goku just reminded him. And the future Zeno, though, is intrigued when he hears about a tournament. Goku and the present Zeno talk about tournaments to future Zeno with great excitement, and future Zeno is very intrigued. He really wants to see a tournament now, and present Zeno agrees that the tournament would be a great way to cure them of their boredom. So the Grand Minister says that he'll arrange the rules of the tournament, and he'll figure out the day to hold the tournament, the exact time and day to hold the tournament. And he says that once he's worked that all out, he'll make an announcement to all the Supreme Kais of the multiverse. So Goku says that that's his motivation to continue training until the tournament begins. So Goku leaves the Omni King castle afterwards. Upon returning to Beerus' planet, though, Beerus wastes no time in punching Goku in frustration, both for tricking him and for ignoring his warnings about seeing Zeno. But Goku insists that nothing bad happened. Zeno was just more than happy to go along with the tournament. And Goku admits that he wants to head to the planet of the Kais because he wants to be there when the Grand Minister makes the announcement to the Supreme Kais of the multiverse. So Goku, Beerus, and Whis all arrive at the planet of the Kais, and they quickly reunite with Shin, Old Kai, and Kibito. And after Beerus has some tea, the Grand Minister arrives and greets everyone. Beerus, Old Kai, Kibito, and Shin all make a point to bow before the Grand Minister and speak respectfully around him. Goku, however, is very casual around the Grand Minister, and Old Kai is quick to tell Goku to mind his manners. But the Grand Minister assures Old Kai that he doesn't take any offense to Goku's casual attitude. In fact, he wants to thank Goku for curing the Omni Kings of their boredom, as he puts it. So the Grand Minister proceeds to read the royal decree of the Zenos, and he explains that this tournament will feature multiple universes, and all the participating universes will have a total of 10 fighters. And the Grand Minister also mentions that this tournament will be known as the Tournament of Power. afterwards, we see, or yeah, during the narrator's closing comments for the episode, we then see a montage showing us various individuals from Universe 7. These individuals are Piccolo, Tien and Chaozu, Gohan, Videl, and Pan, Master Roshi and Turtle, Android 17, Krillin and Android 18 with Marin, Vegeta, and Boo with Hercule. Maybe not exactly in that same order, but all of those characters are featured in this montage. And this montage, after the Grand Minister has declared the preparations for the Tournament of Power, is where we end this episode. So there you go, we're finally back at the main storyline of Dragon Ball Super, and we begin the 5th saga of Dragon Ball Super. Now, as the ending of the episode indicates, one of the names for this saga, at least one of the names that many fans refer to this saga by, is the Tournament of Power Saga. There is another name for this saga, but I'm going to hold off on mentioning that until a certain detail is revealed for the dub-only viewers. I don't want to give it away for dub-only viewers just yet. But yes, the Tournament of Power Saga begins in this episode, and the art style does look slightly different. It turns out Toei Animation had added a filter for this particular saga. I'm not sure exactly why they did so, but I've heard some fans thinking that maybe it was to make the art style look closer to the art style from the earlier entries of the Dragon Ball franchise. Again, I'm not sure if that's exactly the reason why. That's just some guesses I've been hearing from some fans. But anyway, yes, so with the Tournament of Power Saga, we do start with some notable details. So Goku and the Zenos are highlighted. Their similarities. Yes, Goku and the Zenos' similarities are actually highlighted. They're both considered pure-hearted individuals, even naive in some ways. And at one point, Beerus even goes as far as to think that Goku's naivety is more dangerous than Zeno's naivety. And otherwise, and yeah, because Goku reminds Zeno about the tournament, yes. So now we have the Tournament of Power underway, and future Zeno seems really excited about this because, that's right, he never actually saw a tournament, while present Zeno did see a bit of the Tournament of Destroyers, and that's what motivated him to come up with this tournament. Now, as for the potential stakes of this tournament, because Beerus and Whis were very insistent to Goku that he not remind Zeno of the tournament, is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? We'll find out in later episodes. I don't want to give it away for the dub-only viewers, so hang on, be patient. We'll see more of that as we continue on. But as for other details, that's right, we see that Bulma is pregnant now, so Trunks is going to be an older brother, and Vegeta and Bulma are going to have a second offspring. If you've seen the end of Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball GT, then you'll be aware of the identity of Trunks' younger sibling. But if you haven't seen the end of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT, then I'll refrain from mentioning the identity of Trunks' younger sibling. But all will be made clear in time eventually. Now, the thing about Bulma's pregnancy is Vegeta's willingness to stay by Bulma's side until she gives birth to their offspring. Many fans consider that to be a very heartwarming moment, especially because they think it's very heartwarming that Vegeta is willing to stay by Bulma's side until she gives birth. And yeah, it is rather heartwarming, especially when you take into account how Vegeta acted during the Android Saga and the Cell Saga. To put it mildly, Vegeta was not Father of the Year during the Android Saga or the Cell Saga. Although I know I've noticed some fans use this as justification that Vegeta is a better dad than Goku. Because, yeah, there is that joke among some fans about how Goku is a bad dad. And, yeah, even in the manga version, or manga version if you prefer, I'm not really a stickler over pronunciations, but, yeah, in the manga equivalent of this episode, the manga chapter that's an equivalent to this episode, Vegeta's comments about Goku apparently not seeing Chi-Chi not being around when Chi-Chi gave birth was something along the lines of calling Goku a bad father, even though he's not a bad person. I'd have to recheck that chapter exactly to see the exact wording. But yeah, I remember that kind of, I was not too pleased with that because, yeah, Goku is flawed. Make no mistake, Goku is a flawed individual, but I do think the Goku is a bad dad joke is really, it kind of grates on my nerves. Like, the whole Goku is a bad father joke kind of does grate on my nerves. He's not perfect, but I'd say even on his worst days, Goku really isn't an outright terrible father. And I think it sounds a little hypocritical of Vegeta to say that, considering, again, in the Android Saga and the Cell Saga, Vegeta was not Father of the Year material. I would say on his worst days, Vegeta's a worse father than Goku was on his worst days. But again, I'm just not a big fan of the Goku's a bad dad joke. I think it kind of exaggerates some of Goku's unflattering qualities. But, and again, that's not to take away from Vegeta's progress as a father. Vegeta has made a lot of progress from where he started, and that should be recognized. So otherwise, yes, with this tournament, we're actually going to learn more about the other universes, because, of course, we've been following around Universe 7, but we did touch up a little bit with Universe 6, with the Champa Saga, and we did get to see a little bit of Universe 10 through the Zamasu Saga. So this is going to be the saga where we do learn more about the other universes. And as for the 10 fighters for participating in the Tournament of Power for each respective universe that will participate, I'm sure most fans might have figured it out already if they haven't read ahead or seen ahead through subs. But the closing scene where it shows the montage of all the Universe 7 characters during the narrator's last comments, that's a hint about, that's a pretty major hint about who's going to participate in the Tournament of Power, or it's pretty safe to conclude that. As for the specifics, we'll see more of that as we go along later on in this saga. But now I should mention this. It looks like there isn't going to be a new Funimation dub episode next Sunday. It looks like they're going to take the next week off for the Labor Day weekend. So there won't be a new Funimation dub episode on Toonami next week. Toonami is going to air a marathon of a different show instead. But they will resume the week after the Labor Day weekend. I just want to stress that, make sure that that's clear. So don't worry, you're not going to miss any. You're going to have to be a little more patient. We're going to have to wait an extra week before we continue the tournament of Power Saga. And I know that's probably going to be frustrating for some fans because we just got back to the main storyline, but now we got to take a week-long break before we resume. But hang in there, we will resume the saga in time. We just got to be a little more patient. But otherwise, there we go for now for this for the beginning of the Tournament of Power saga. So as of this video, we've now discussed the Funimation dub of episode 77 of Dragon Ball Super on this channel. Take care, and until next time.